What about supplements? I mean, we've spoken about protein. I know you're an advocate for creatine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what supplements would you want to kind of point people's attention to that could be complementary to these dietary strategies to help improve body composition?
It honestly comes down to creatine. When we're looking at improving muscle size and strength, and coincidentally, I was a collaborator on a systematic review looking at muscle thickness specifically with creatine, seeing these disappointingly small increases in muscle thickness as a result of creatine. But, you know, in spite of those findings, the fact remains that creatine, when you look at across studies, compared to the control group, it'll increase strength 12 to 20%. Wait a minute. No. 12% in the non-creatine group, 20-ish% in the creatine groups. And so that advantage in strength gain almost inevitably would translate to a significant advantage in size gain over time. And not only that, by the end of the loading phase, you're still going to get roughly a 2% increase in body weight. That's going to come from intramuscular water for the most part. And that intramuscular water could give you anabolic leverage at the cellular level. So over time, creatine definitely works.
Are you supplementing with 5 grams creatine, 10 grams? How do you do it personally?
I just do 5 grams. Yeah, 5 grams a day. It can be argued that guys who are dwarfing me could benefit from more, but the median effective dose there is 5 grams a day as a maintenance dose. Yeah.
What about this whole class of compounds that are often marketed under the banner of fat burners, and like L-carnitine comes to mind, and other ingredients that I think the general claim is that they help increase your energy expenditure, and as such can help facilitate a calorie deficit or a steeper calorie deficit. Are there any sort of truths to this? Is there any validity, any compounds that people can take or look to that will help them, I guess, burn more energy?
This is a potentially controversial take. Okay, there are statistically significant advantages of certain compounds that are usually based in the thermogenic pathways. So even things like caffeine, even things like green tea catechins, things like that. Back in the day, it was a ephedrine and caffeine stack when that was legal. The problem is that by the end of these 4 to 12 week studies, you're seeing maybe 1, sometimes 2 kilograms advantage above and beyond placebo. And so it's hard to justify, okay, even though that's a statistically significant difference, the practical significance of that difference, I mean, it boils down to dieting without the stuff for another 4 weeks, for 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. So there is a small advantage to it, but making a lifestyle of taking that stuff, the pros potentially outweigh the cons in terms of adverse effects on hemodynamics, blood pressure, just various adverse reactions to the supplements, which are not the most tightly regulated things in the world. I don't personally recommend seeking out help from a fat burner. Competitors for physique contests, some of them swear by it, helps me control my appetite, this and that, but for the general population, I would just say stay away.
Right, so keep it simple. With regards to supplementation, protein powder, creatine, probably as complex as it needs to get for most people.
Yeah, for body comp, absolutely, yeah. Some people get tied up in amino acids, this and that, and some people love their intra-workout amino acids, but the evidence basis of that is just really questionable beyond what sort of placebo effect it's giving them during training.
Yeah, if it makes you train harder,
Yeah.
because you think it's working.
Sure.
then it
Shake
will
that
work.
thing up, man.
Beta alanine does that for me because I feel the tingles. I
Yeah.
actually then feel like I'm kind of more inspired to work out with a greater intensity.
Well, there's a case to be made for beta alanine picking up where creatine kind of starts waning on the energy continuum. So you have strength power here, endurance here, and beta alanine will kind of cover you here where creatine starts coming down right here. So there is actually a pretty solid scientific basis. If your training has an endurance element to it, you can use creatine and beta alanine in tandem, as been seen successfully in the research.